Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all South Africans. I am not sure currently what I am trying to achieve, but I've been driving around for the last few weeks, poisoning my mind with all the negativity and the news and financial updates and currency exchanges. And so yeah, I'm an Afrikaans speaking person. My name is Lucas van der Merwe. I apologize from the beginning that my English is not the best. But I will try and give it a go to the best of my ability. So, pleading for forgiveness. I would like to take this opportunity tonight to actually embrace a few things that came to mind. We see a lot of people making a lot of videos on various subjects and various issues, and most of them are very opinionated, and most of them are politically orientated, most of them are financially driven, and some, in most cases, are self-marketing in some weird, obscure way. My intentions tonight is none of that. And I think before proceeding to the accumulation of thoughts over the last couple of days, and most probably more true over the last couple of weeks, everything I say tonight, I say honestly, openly, with the intention of sharing and with the intention of maybe somebody, if one person can find solace or resonate with my message, I think this time I've taken now tonight achieved the goal optimally. Formalities. Everything I say tonight, I say without prejudice to anybody out there in South Africa and the world. This is merely and truly a true feeling of heart and sharing of just accumulative thoughts, influenced by external factors and obviously influenced by our economy and influenced by political mayhem and all the negativity that we are surrounded by day in and day out, and the overload of information, and we are getting bombarded from everywhere on all platforms of life and from all corners of life with information. So the actual meaning is quite simple, is to share with an audience I don't know, but hopefully it will find a home or one person that maybe can resonate with us. So over the last couple of weeks or days, I was thinking from a perception and a perspective and a conviction of that whilst everything is so negative and whilst everything is so focused and centralized around the unknown and fear of the unknown, and we are grappling with certain realities that obviously we cannot control. But I would like to take the, let's use for the better terminology, lack of better terminology, inspiration that I had that brought me to this point, thus me jumping up and down from different subjects, but please excuse that. I would like to share some of my own versions of life and thoughts, and hopefully, by definition, some inspiration that I believe that we all, as human beings, are divinely blessed with free will and free thinking and freedom of association and freedom of speech, and the latter gets abused quite often. I'm a businessman, entrepreneur, and I'm also a farm owner. I employ around about 7,000 people in my groups of companies. And I see all walks of life, and I see all sorts of struggle, and, struggle with truth, and struggle with where we belong, and struggle of association, and obviously our realities of day-to-day struggle. But I would like to record my thoughts tonight from a pure, transparent, authentic, non-prescribed, perceived, or prepared way. I know it's a little bit unorthodox, but I'm going to try and convey it to the best of my ability. With the influx of all the information and the negativity, as previously mentioned, I really believe that we as specific South Africans from all walks of life, all races, creeds, religion, all of us that makes up South Africa what it is, if we can only for one moment set aside our differences without being oblivious to reality and without being oblivious to real life issues. Because I know a lot of people will find a way to criticize what I'm trying to do here from a good-hearted intention, which is fine. But if all of us collectively take hands for one moment and put aside our religion, put aside our political orientation, put aside our personal opinions, put aside our frustrations, irritations, our challenges, and forget for one moment, hypothetically speaking, I really believe that by mere hope and by mere belief in a greater good, that we can make South Africa great again. And I really believe that it is time for human beings, and from all walks of life, to actually wake up and realize that we are all captured in this country we'll all love, in circumstances that we do not choose, we do not want, and we wish it was different. But the reality, it isn't different. But saying that, in this moment of my fairy tale moment of putting aside all our concerns and worries and our differences that makes this a very diverse country, and in that is also beauty to be found. I appeal to everybody to just for one moment imagine what we can achieve as a nation the important and non-important, the affluent, the poor, the influential, and the Joe Soap like myself. We have the ability and the capability, and with the right wisdom and the right insight and the right guidance by choice of manipulating our brains to have a cognitive moment of consciousness, to put away and aside all that negativity, I believe that we can really come up with a sustainable, workable solution to capsulate South Africa, where the sun shines brightly over all of us, whether it's for business, whether it's for personal gain, whether it's for just living a white picket fence syndrome, whether it's dreams, aspirations, whatever it might be. I truly, in my heart, believe that with divine intervention, we as South Africans have the solution on our fingertips. It's available. It's shouting out in readiness for us to own, to make ours, to apply logic and to apply compassion and humanity, and understanding and consideration and respect. I really believe we will resolve this, not only as a pipe dream, but as a nation reaching out to each other. In my businesses, I've always preached since I was a young man. I've always preached a philosophy and a methodology of never take more than you give, always pay it forward. Always stay humble, never become arrogant. Always be thankful, embrace gratitude. And it doesn't matter the orientation or where we come from or where we want to go. I appeal and I pray and I hope. And I also ask God tonight to guide me to articulate and convey my thoughts to my fellow South Africans here in such a manner that the intention will be grasped as to what I feel we can achieve as a nation. And it all starts with choice, free will, free choice, and to choose to make this country, our beloved country, without divide and rule, and with the inclusions of partaking in our different belief systems and in our different cultures, to embrace our own and to respect our fellow South Africans in their ways of life and their belief systems. All it needs is respect, consideration, and the choice of acceptance that we all as human beings strip down to the basics. The simplicity for all of us, irrelevant who we are pretty much the same things we all desire and we aspire to as human beings. We have the cognitive abilities to differ and to argue and to find reasons to not agree, but I truly embrace the principle of agree to disagree with respect. I see it on a day-to-day basis where unexpectedly, from the most unexpected people, that there are still in South Africa a component of being truly South African, where I am surprised, and positively so, where I see people react to me in an amazing South African way, which is so South African. We're a peculiar country, but we are such a unique nation with so many differences, but so many commonalities. And it is our task as human beings to reach out and find those commonalities and to embrace them and to develop them and to enhance it by mutual respect and understanding and consideration, and sometimes push our own cognitive thoughts and thinking processes and belief systems to limitations where we actually want to know more and understand about our fellow South Africans and even our like-minded nations and people where we differ. I see too much currently of people trying to make themselves celebrities, and I say this respectfully, and there's no intent towards anybody else out there, by using and abusing negative incidents and negative impacts on our economy, politically, in our country. Yes, I am not oblivious to the realities of what's going on, but it is what it is. Our complaining and our degrading of our own country and our own realities of circumstances within a very challenging and trying period for South Africa, that should not be the focus point. The focus point should be, yes, we accept this is the reality. Yes, we accept some of these things, and most of it is unacceptable and it should not be the standard. But let's rather try and also use that, and by choice, to see what we can do to contribute individually as a South African nation and as a South African people. I appeal to my fellow South Africans and in my closer circles. I hope and pray, and I really believe there's an enshrined opportunistic streak in me currently that's inspired by all the blessings we still have that we take so easily for granted in our lives. And I pray to God Almighty that with His divine intervention, that He can give us the guidance and the wisdom and the platforms and the right opportunities to find ways to amalgamate all my set statements and for that matter, my ideas of how I would like to perceive South Africa and our nation and our world. Social media is an amazing tool and it's an amazing contribution to our new way of life and from a business perspective and so forth. But I really also feel that it also became a bullying platform where people's egocentric attitudes are creating more issues than it's doing good. So, and I'm open for all the criticism that will come my way, and I take it in stride, and I will really take it as a respectful submission. But my intent here tonight is, let's pay it forward. Let's reach out. Let's try and be the difference. And talking for myself, I've always said to my family and friends and businesses, hopefully one day when I leave this world, I will leave it in a better state than I found it. And that comes with my own contributions, my own hard work, my own submissions to the things that I am responsible for. And what I'm actually trying to say is this: we pay it forward one incident at a time, one person being uplifted at a time, one very negative incident politically that happened, to embrace that by choice of rather see what we can do next time around. And surely the next response will be that most of these political wrongs, that we are currently experiencing and seeing are creating destabilizing thoughts, and we get negative and frustrated and irritated, and we feel helpless, and we feel, how do you keep on motivating, and how do you keep positive thoughts of trains going in a time where you feel that you are just being bombarded by negativity and ill intent and corruption, and without any specific reference to any specific incident or debacle or scandal. But we are so focused, it became a South African trademark. We are so focused on how bad things are and how disappointed we are and how bad it is in this country. And I would like to use the most simplistic term. I go to my farm 3 times a week to do my necessary business responsibilities, and I go to my head offices in Cape Town, Joburg and Durban, and I get disappointed. I get frustrated. I get annoyed, to say the least. But that is my shortcomings, my character flaws. And I'm sharing with you a personal message of trying to take my negativity and my conscious efforts to better myself, to put myself on a journey of inspiring myself, motivating myself to aspire to my better version of myself, to really pursue my journey of human higher evolution, and to really strive to become a better man, a better husband, a better employer, a better friend. I'm most probably one of the most flawed human beings on the planet. But I do have the will to strive to be better. And if I fail today, I will try again tomorrow. And Robert Kiyosaki said, I stand to be corrected. He said, if the world knocks you down, make sure you fall on your back. If you fall on your back, you can look up, and if you can look up, you can get up. And I personalized that and adopted that type of thinking for myself to better my own flaws and my own shortcomings and character impediments, because I really want to choose to be a better me. I want to leave a contribution to South Africa the day I'm no longer around. I really want, and not for the fame, not for reference, not for name. I truly, really want somebody, as an example, my wife, to leave a message of inspiration and hope one day on my tombstone for only one positive thing that I had a hand in. And useless info, a very wise businessman once told me when I was very young and just started my own business, I've asked him, how do you reach the point of success in your life? Obviously being stupid and idiotic in my youth. I had the typical egocentric thoughts of successes, material possessions, as I was personally obsessed with that. To be important, to be an influential person, to be respected in the business world. And guys, that didn't work out very well for me, but it took me about 25 years to realize that, actually to the point where all the flaws of my life, I can actually now for the first time actually embrace it and acknowledge it and have the will and the choice to get up every day and try again, because I do want to better myself. But anyway, long story short, his advice or answer to that was, young man, wise men plant trees. They never grow old enough to sit in the shade of those trees, but they will leave a legacy behind for someone else to have the privilege to sit in the shade of those trees. Now, obviously, to me, that was Greek as an Afrikaans-speaking South African. But anyway, and over years, I molded that through my head a million times, and I do now realize that was most probably one of the biggest gifts that anybody could have given me at the time. And that boils down to pay it forward without expecting accolades and praises and benefits. Strange world, the universe. We do things for self-enhancement with limited results most of the time, in my opinion. But the universe has got a very peculiar way of keeping a record of our goods and our bads. And I truly believe that the less results we expect in self-preservation or enrichment, the more the universe and the world and God will bless us with selfless acts, where we can actually use that for so much more effective, productive ways in life where other people can benefit from this. And I was a convicted, ecocentric idiot in my own life. And I'm not ashamed to say it today, embarrassed a little bit, yes. But I've realized that if I capitalize on my own errors of life and my own mistakes, whether personal or business, when I capitalize on those mistakes as learning curves of my life journey, the actual privilege to have the opportunity to have another day to correct that and fight for that betterment of myself in improving that the next day. So hopefully I will be one of those that will leave a small legacy one day that hopefully changes only one person's life. In conclusion, I'm boring you, but I hopefully articulated my intention that I really believe we do hold the power in our hands as South Africans to make this country great again by patience, respect, reaching out, and also stepping out of our own little lifestyle of luxurious estates and step a little bit into the reality of a world of millions of people that can benefit from us reaching out by extending a hand of Simazonke, Masakane, which means in Zulu, togetherness. If I fall and I know that I can only reach out my hand and there will be somebody that will grab it, what a great piece of comfort to have. So guys, from my side, I thank you for your time to actually endure my babbling without saying actually nothing, as it wasn't pre-planned or scripted. It was just something I really want to share with South Africa, where we can make a difference with the small things. The philosophy that has been very loyal to me and a formula that's truly blessed me beyond my fondest dreams was that what we talk about, we become about, as per the secret, the book. Our manifestations and our belief systems and the application of our cognitive abilities, if we start applying that in really searching for that small speck of light, we really can change a lot of things, not only for ourselves, but for a nation in desperate need for a message of hope somewhere. Because it became a South African way, like we braai and what's rugby. It became a South African normality to find fault and complain, moan and groan, scapegoating, and the true reality is we are actually the creators of our own problems, as we are becoming part and partial of a manifestation bigger than ourselves that's not tangible, that has not been seen, by putting collective energy into what is wrong instead of making the choice to focus on what is right and to pray and to hope that there are like-minded people out there that might agree with some of the things that I said tonight. And like I said, my intentions were meant well tonight, and I do have hope, and I'm hopeful that there are people out there from all walks of life, from different upbringings, from different cultural beliefs and religion beliefs, and from totally different perspectives than where I'm coming from. But there is commonality in whatever we choose when it's based on the principles of fairness and just and intentions of hope and intentions of striving and believing to be better and to help our fellow man and fellow woman, and by starting with the basics: be respectful, be considerate, just be a little bit more receptive in our indifferences. And I am saying once again, I am not oblivious to all the problems that we are currently facing. To mention an example, the Rand-dollar exchange, Eskom, scandals, political mayhem, insecurity, expropriation, NHI, there's a whole list. And yes, it is reality, it's true. And I'm not oblivious to that. I research these things every day of my life, to my own horror sometimes, because I neglect my own positivity due to the fact that I get captured and trapped into moments of frustration and getting depressed about the things I cannot change. Let's rather accept the things we cannot change and change the things we can, and have the wisdom to know the difference and actually the want to do something about it, as per the Serenity Prayer. So from my side, guys and ladies and fellow South Africans from all walks of life, lots of love and lots of blessings, and I really hope that God bless these words tonight and the intention, and God bless every South African out there, and bless us with rain for our country that is desperately in need for rain, and bless our farmers, and bless our businessmen, and bless our politicians with guidance and morality and a new moral compass of the want to change things for the better. I know I am not the most educated man in the world, thus for me apologizing for my poor English, and I pray for blessings for South Africa, for the world, that somebody out there will see my truth tonight in what I'm trying to obtain here, or rather just share my own thoughts, not because I like my own voice, because it is 1:30 on a Wednesday evening. This is maybe a great idea to go to bed now. So I've had a very challenging business week and day so far, but very character building and very positive. And I wanted to conclude my night now by sharing maybe useless thoughts, but still share it with the public out there, which I believe that we are a blessed nation. We have overcome many things in the past, and I believe we will also unite and stand together and reach out to the basic principles of being human. I thank you for your time, and sorry for the long message and the babble at some stages. I thank you so much. My name is Lucas van der Merwe. I wish you all well, with lots of love and blessings. To our enemies out there, to our friends and foes, but as South Africans, let's reach out and let's scream it. Let's make South Africa great again. I thank you all.